Dallas Cowboys prioritize run game in search for new offensive coordinator. The Dallas Cowboys are actively searching for a new offensive coordinator after naming Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. As the franchise begins the hiring process, one aspect stands out as the top priority for Executive Vice President Stephen Jones: the run game. In a recent statement, Jones made it clear that the Cowboys need to find a coach who can significantly improve their rushing attack. He emphasized that great championship teams succeed by running the ball effectively and stopping the run, something he believes Schottenheimer values as well. With this in mind, Dallas is specifically targeting a candidate who excels in designing and implementing a strong ground game. The Cowboys' rushing offense struggled significantly in 2024, ranking as the sixth worst in the NFL with just 1,705 total rushing yards. Despite a solid effort from Rico Dowdle, who accounted for 1,079 of those yards, the team still lacked overall production on the ground. They finished with only 6 rushing touchdowns, the lowest in the league, and committed 12 fumbles, the second most among all teams. These numbers highlight just how much work needs to be done to rebuild Dallas' rushing attack. Another challenge the Cowboys faced was the absence of running back Deuce Vaughn, who missed a significant portion of the season due to injury. His return to full health should help, but there is growing speculation that Dallas could also look to acquire a new running back in the offseason. The team parted ways with Ezekiel Elliott before the season ended, leaving a gap in their backfield depth that may need to be addressed through free agency or the draft. As the Cowboys continue their search for an offensive coordinator, it remains to be seen what direction they will take. Will they look for an experienced coach with a proven track record in establishing dominant rushing attacks, or will they take a chance on a younger, innovative mind? Whatever the case, it's clear that Dallas is determined to revamp their run game and bring a more balanced offensive approach to the field in 2025. Brian Schottenheimer's contract signals shift in Dallas Cowboys leadership and a departure from Mike McCarthy's era. The Dallas Cowboys officially introduced Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach, marking a major shift in the team's leadership. While the hiring itself wasn't a shock, the details of his contract have raised eyebrows and fueled speculation about how much faith the organization truly had in former coach Mike McCarthy. Schottenheimer, who steps in as the 10th head coach in franchise history, wasted no time outlining his vision for the offense. In his introductory press conference, he emphasized his commitment to tempo, cut splits, shifts, and motions designed to keep defenses off balance. He also expressed a desire to put quarterback Dak Prescott under center more frequently, while incorporating a heavier dose of play-action plays. For many Cowboys fans, this was exactly the kind of offensive philosophy they had been hoping for, especially after watching McCarthy's system become too predictable. One of the biggest revelations from Schottenheimer's hiring is the length of his contract. According to reports, he signed a 4-year deal, an interesting move considering he has never been a head coach before. While his salary details have not been disclosed, the length of the contract is particularly noteworthy because McCarthy reportedly wanted more job security in Dallas, but never received it. Despite leading the Cowboys to 3 consecutive 12-win seasons, something that hadn't happened since the 1990s, McCarthy struggled in the playoffs, securing only 1 postseason victory in 5 years. His tenure ultimately ended in disappointment, punctuated by an embarrassing home playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers. Many argue that defensive coordinator Dan Quinn deserved a significant share of the blame for that loss, but McCarthy's team looked completely unprepared and overwhelmed on the big stage. That failure likely sealed his fate in Dallas, paving the way for Schottenheimer's promotion. The 4-year length of Schottenheimer's contract also aligns with Dak Prescott's own deal, a 4-year, $240 million extension signed in September. This suggests that the Cowboys are betting on Schottenheimer to be the coach who finally unlocks Prescott's full potential after a season in which the quarterback struggled in McCarthy's system before suffering a hamstring injury. The relationship between Schottenheimer and Prescott is now the most crucial factor in determining the success of this new era in Dallas. If Schottenheimer can build an offense that maximizes Prescott's strengths and elevates the team in big moments, his hiring will be seen as a turning point. But if the Cowboys continue to fall short when it matters most, the organization may find itself right back in the same cycle of disappointment that has plagued them for decades. Cowboys interview Cardinals' Klayton Adams for offensive coordinator role as search intensifies. The Dallas Cowboys continue their search for a new offensive coordinator, And one of the latest names to emerge is Arizona Cardinals offensive line coach Clayton Adams. According to reports, Adams recently interviewed with the team and is already being considered a top candidate for the position. Despite never holding an NFL offensive coordinator role before, Adams has prior experience as a co-offensive coordinator at the college level and has spent the last 2 seasons helping lead Arizona's ground game. Adams' impact on the Cardinals' rushing attack has been notable, with the team ranking 4th in rushing yards in 2023 and 7th in 2024. Given that the Cowboys struggled mightily in the run game last season, finishing among the league's worst in total rushing yards and touchdowns, his expertise could be exactly what Dallas needs. While Adams is a strong contender, he's not the only name in the mix. The Cowboys have also interviewed Atlanta Falcons tight ends coach Kevin Koga for the role. Koga, who has spent the last 2 seasons in a non-play-calling offensive coordinator role, brings a different skill set to the table. Regardless of who is ultimately hired, new head coach Brian Schottenheimer will be calling the plays in 2025, meaning the Cowboys are likely looking for a coordinator who can help develop and refine the overall offensive structure rather than take full control of play-calling duties. Meanwhile, Dallas has already made major coaching hires on the defensive and special teams fronts. Former Chicago Bears head coach Matt Eberflus has returned to the franchise as the new defensive coordinator, while Nick Sorensen was brought in to oversee special teams after parting ways with the San Francisco 49ers. With those key hires complete, all eyes are now on the offensive coordinator vacancy. As the Cowboys weigh their options, the big question remains: will they go with an experienced NFL coach, or will they take a chance on a fresh face like Adams? His success in Arizona, particularly in improving the run game, makes him an intriguing option. But with Schottenheimer running the offense, the Cowboys must ensure they bring in the right mind to complement their vision and maximize quarterback Dak Prescott's potential. As Dallas moves forward in this critical hiring process, fans are left wondering if Adams could be the key to unlocking a more balanced and explosive offense in 2025.